All right, one more for you before I finish my session here. Again, we're talking about hand balance. There's a couple ways, like I said, you can get this move. You can do it against the wall, that like long way, which is I think is very, very important. And there are times when I just train the heck out of that and get my solid hollow position, pushing through the shoulders, fingers spreading, elbows turned, and everything in that line stacked. But then there's also, you know, a time when you want to train a little bit in that chaos. So I think that this is another good one of those. So if you're first starting out doing your handstand, hand balance, and make sure that you're working on the wall position, a good way to think about handstand is just think hips over the hands, directly over the hands. You can tell when I'm standing, okay, that I really can't get my hips away from over the top of my feet without myself falling over. I can go a little bit forward, and then I have to push with my toes to come back to here. Some people are like, well, that's not true. I can push my hips out and lean back like this, but this isn't necessarily true either because you're just doing a counterbalance going on here, okay? Or if you went this way, counterbalance is going on here, okay? So the weight is still there, centered over the top. So when you're doing a handstand, if your hips are directly over the top of your hands, then you'll have an easier time organizing that balancing position, that weight shift position. So what I want you to do is this. I want you just to jump up into a handstand. It doesn't matter how ugly it is, okay? But I want you to think about hips over the hands. Okay? So I'm going to jump up into an ugly handstand, and I'm just going to hold that position, and then I'm going to organize everything. Because once you're in a comfortable and familiar place, you'll be more likely to make changes because you feel comfortable enough to make those changes, okay? So, I'm just going to jump up into this thing. Okay, so right now this isn't that pretty, right? But from here I feel comfortable. My hips are over my hands. So now I'm going to make a little adjustment. I'm going to try and straighten out to a nice position here. Okay? So now I'm in a relatively stronger position here. And I can get to it easier because I feel comfortable with where I started. So if you're someone that likes to do like staggered positions in a handstand, find that position, feel that comfortable position, and then make that slow change into that straight position or other positions you want to get into. Just remember, think about those hips over hands, and then from there organize it from that position. This is kind of a gross motor way of thinking about where you're supposed to be. And you can also think of locking out the elbows, spreading the fingers, all that stuff. Anyway, try it out, see if it helps out your handstand. Give it time, and I'll see you next time.